This is the fourth video related to chapter retirement of a partner. According to our book, this is the sixth chapter. We have already discussed about the calculation of gaining ratio, new profit sharing ratio. We discussed about the accounting treatment of goodwill and the accounting treatment of reserves and surplus. Today we will discuss about revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities. Here there are 2 points. One, the revised values will be recorded, and second, the revised values are not recorded. Both the methods we are discussing here in this slide only. First, what do we mean by revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities? Now, when the business is a running concern, going concern, assets and liabilities are incurred during the course of business. The market value of those assets or the liabilities may change. Okay, in case of assets, the market value may change, and due to certain circumstances, the liabilities may increase or decrease. So, at the time of reconstitution, it is necessary to revalue the assets and reassess the liabilities. And if there is any profit or loss on reassessment of liabilities and revaluation of assets, it will be distributed among the old partners in the old profit sharing ratio, including the retiring partner, because whatever is happening, it is happening when the retiring partner was there in the firm. So if there is any profit, it will be shared with him, and if there is any loss, he has also to bear this or bear that expense, loss. So revaluation of assets and liabilities may be given effect on two methods. Okay, as discussed earlier, that the revised values are recorded in the books. That means in the new firm's balance sheet, the revised value of assets and liabilities will be recorded, and it is done through a account known as revaluation account. These points we had already discussed in chapter 4 and chapter 5. So it is the same thing. It is continuation of that. Second method, when the revised values are not recorded in the books. That means in the revised balance sheet, the assets and liabilities will continue to appear in the old value only. First, we will discuss the first method, when revised values are to be recorded in the books. In that case, we will be preparing one revaluation account or profit and loss adjustment account. That account is nominal in nature. That means all the expenses or losses will be debited to the account, and all the gains and incomes will be credited to revaluation account. The format is like this. See, on the debit side, losses like decrease in the value of asset is a loss, so it will be debited to revaluation account. In the same manner, if liabilities are increasing, it's a loss. If any unrecorded liability is there, it is also a loss. So all of them are recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. In the same manner, any gains, that is, if assets value is increasing, it's a gain. If liability is decreasing, it is a gain, and if any unrecorded asset is now recorded, it's a gain. So it will be recorded on the credit side. The difference between the debit and credit will be either profit or loss. If credit side is more, profit is there. If debit side is more, loss is there. That profit and loss will be divided among the old partners in old ratio, including the retiring partner. Okay, I am not explaining this again, as we have already discussed in chapter 4, chapter 6, 5, and we are discussing it in chapter 6 now. We have solved many questions relating to revaluation account. So I hope all of you are now well versed with this particular topic. See the journal entries based on the revaluation account. If there is decrease in the value of asset, revaluation account will be debited and the asset account will be credited. When assets value is decreasing, it is credited. For increase in value of assets account will be debited and revaluation account will be credited. In the same manner, if the liability is increasing, revaluation account will be debited and liability account will be credited. Decrease in the value of liabilities, liability will be debited and revaluation account will be credited. To record unrecorded liabilities, revaluation account to liabilities account. In the same manner, unrecorded assets will be debited and revaluation account will be credited. Now if the credit side is more, it reveals profit. So revaluation account debit to partners capital account, including the retiring partner in old ratio. If debit side is more, that means it's a loss. So partners capital will be debited in old ratio, all the partners, to revaluation account. Journal entries are very important. Many times in the board, journal entries asked. Okay. So and passing journal entries takes more time, because you have to calculate, you have to prepare the revaluation account in a fair manner, or even in the working also you have to prepare to calculate the profit and loss. So passing journal entries takes more time. So practice a lot. Now let's take one illustration. There are three partners who are going to share, were sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2:1. The balance sheet is as follows. On 1st April, C retires from the firm, and for this purpose, machinery is depreciated by 10%, stock is appreciated by 20%, creditor of rupees 5,000 is not likely to claim, so it's a gain, and there is an expense on revaluation 1200 rupees paid by the firm. Pass journal entries and prepare revaluation account. When machine is depreciated, revaluation account debit to machinery account. 10% of 1,50,000 is 15,000 rupees. Stock is appreciated, its value was 50,000, 20% of 50,000 is 10,000. Stock is asset is appreciated, so asset will be debited. Stock account debit 10,000 to revaluation account 10,000 rupees. Creditors not likely to claim, so it's a gain. So revaluation will be credited and creditors will be debited. Expense of rupees 1200 is paid by the firm. So revaluation account debit 1200 to cash 1200 rupees. Okay. So loss is there of 1200 rupees. So A is capital account debit, B is capital account debit, C is capital account debit to revaluation. 1200 rupees loss is transferred to the old partners, all the partners including the retiring partner, in the old profit sharing ratio. Now check the revaluation account. Okay, machine increased, machine's value was depreciated by 15,000, so to machinery 15,000, cash expense to cash 1200 rupees. Stock and creditors were gained. Stock increased by 10,000 and creditors liability decreased by 5,000. So there is a loss of 1200 rupees which is transferred to A, B and C in the ratio of 3:2:1, old ratio. Okay. Now the second method, when revised values are not recorded in the books, in that case we will not prepare revaluation account. Okay, revised values are not to be recorded, so we will not debit or credit the respective assets and liabilities account. All the adjustments will be done through the partners capital account. Okay, all the adjustments will be done through the partners capital account. Following steps are taken. First we will calculate the profit or loss on revaluation. So if there is an increase in the value of asset, it will be added, decrease in the value of asset will be deducted, decrease in the value of liability will be added, and increase in the liability will be deducted. We will find out the net effect of revaluation. We will not make a revaluation account, we will prepare a statement. Okay, working note. So profit, if there is a profit, in that case, okay, we will calculate the gaining ratio, sacrificing ratio, then the net effects proportionate amount. Okay, gain share into net effect of revaluation, and then we will pass journal entry. In case of gain on revaluation, gaining partners capital account will be debited and sacrificing partners capital account will be credited. For loss on revaluation, sacrificing partners capital account debit to gaining partners capital account. For this, you have to calculate the gaining ratio and sacrificing ratio. Now let's take one question. PQR are partners sharing profits and loss in the ratio of 5:3:2. P retires. No information is given. We have to pass an adjustment entry. So we assume that the remaining partners continue to share profits as earlier. That is 3:2. So they are gaining also in the ratio of 3:2 only. Okay. See the adjustment entry we have to pass based on the information given here in the box. Okay. Buildings book value was 4 lakh. Now the revised value is 5 lakh. So 1 lakh rupees increase. Creditor from 80 to 70, it has decreased by 10,000. So it's a gain of 10,000 rupees. Stock from 70 it is going down to 50. Loss of 20,000 rupees. Outstanding expense from 20 it has increased to 30,000. So a loss of 10,000 rupees. With this information we will prepare a statement. P retires, his share is taken by Q and R in the ratio of 3:2. See the statement. The statement says that increase in the value of building plus 1 lakh, decrease in the value of creditors plus 10,000, decrease in the value of stock minus 20,000, increase in the value of outstanding expense minus 10,000. So the net effect is a gain of 80,000 rupees. Okay. Now who is gaining? Q and R. So Q's capital account debit, R's capital account debit to P's capital. P will get 5/10 of 80,000 profit. Okay, so 40,000, and 40,000 will be shared by Q and R in the ratio of 3:2 in the gaining ratio. Okay, so we are passing one adjustment entry. This is the second method where the revised value of assets and liabilities are not to be recorded in the books. They will continue to appear in the old value. So all the adjustments will be done through the partners capital account. That is, gaining partners will compensate the sacrificing partner.